young man named Joseph Alvins, and he threw a strike to Jose Molina. Joseph is a member of Artists for Peace and Justice's baseball team made up of street kids from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Artists for Peace and Justice is a non-profit organization dedicated to peace and social justice and addresses the issues of poverty in communities around the world. And in Haiti, they are serving children and their families in the poorest communities with programs focused on education, health, and dignity. To learn more about what this great organization is doing, go to apjnow.org, or you can check them out on Twitter at Artists for Peace. Once again, that's APJNow. We should have taped that. Ceremonial first pitch. Joseph is a member of the Artists for Peace and Justice's baseball team that's made up of street kids from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Artists for Peace and Justice is a non-profit organization dedicated to peace and social justice and addresses the issues of poverty in communities around the world. And in Haiti, they are serving children and their families in the poorest communities with programs focused on education, health, and dignity. To learn more about what this great organization is doing, go to apjnow.org, or you can check them out on Twitter at Artists for Peace. Once again, that's apjnow.org, or on Twitter at Artists for Peace. And Joseph got a chance to meet some of the ball players and threw out the first pitch to Jose Molina. Certainly an opportunity for him to have a moment in the sun. It has been a back-and-forth series. We had a 1-0 extra inning game, a 14-0 shutout, and a 10-11 game. A little bit of everything in this series so far. Take a look at the Red Sox lineup. Jacoby Ellsbury, Marco Scutaro, Dustin Pedroia. Top of the lineup has been great at getting on base, and they've all had good series. David Ortiz, Kevin Youkilis, middle of the order. Jed Lowry is playing third base here tonight. Jason Varitek, catchers, back behind the plate. Josh Reddick and Darnell McDonald are set to take on Ricky Romero.
Tonight's starting pitcher is brought to you by Icy Hot. Pain is no match for the Icy Hot patch. Ricky Romero in the Blue Jays ripped off 8 straight wins when Romero started between July the 21st and August the 29th, with Ricky winning 6 of those games. That helped him win the AL Pitcher of the Month for August. His stretch ended last time out as he battled the Yankees for 6 2/3 innings. He gave up 5 runs in that game. His previous loss had also come to New York. That was back on July the 16th. For his career, he's made 11 starts against the Boston Red Sox, and he has only been able to beat them twice.
Take a look at the defense behind Ricky Romero. The outfield is Thames, McCoy, and Bautista left to right. Escobar Johnson up the middle. Brett Flory at third. David Kuprovitz has started first base. He's a very good fielding first baseman with a lot of range and a very good glove. J.P. Arencibia, Ricky Romero will team up as they have all summer long.
4 starts this year for David Cooper for the Blue Jays. They have had 5 players over there at first base this year: Lynn, Rivera, Encarnacion, Tian, and now David Cooper.
So we are set for action. Jacoby Ellsbury steps in. First pitch from Romero. First pitch strike. Ellsbury's had a terrific series. He's extended his hit streak to 12 games. He's gone 7 for 14 in the series. 3 doubles and a home run. Ricky Romero is ahead 0-2, and that's going to be a real important aspect of his game tonight.
Getting ahead in the count, get ahead early. His change is going to be very important. Sox do a good job again of laying off that changeup when it's out of the zone, but I think that's going to be a very big pitch for him tonight.
0-2. Breaking ball, fouled off. We talk about this all the time, Pat, talking about when a hitter is 0-2, how vulnerable they are. And this is where Ricky Romero really needs to get aggressive.
Aggressive? I don't think with Romero's stuff that he has to set up too many batters. If you're ahead, try and finish him off. Polish him off early in the count.
Ball is driven in the air. Bautista, McCoy converging, and it drops. Ellsbury ends up at second. And McCoy and Bautista never got their signals straight, and that falls in between them.
Ricky made a good pitch. It looked like Ellsbury hit the ball off the end of the bat. And you're right. That's why Bautista and McCoy are going to talk about it. The center fielder has fly ball priority when it goes into the outfield. It looks like Bautista has a beat on the ball, but the communication between the center fielder and the right fielder just wasn't there. And Ellsbury has another hit to start a ball game.
Right, Bautista may have had a better opportunity, and Romero can't believe it. So Ellsbury extends his hit streak to 13 games, his 40th double. Scudero bunts it to first. Cooper will shovel to Kelly Johnson, who did a good job coming over from second.
One out here as Ellsbury's at third base. Let's look at the scouting report for Ricky Romero, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Crack the whip. It's very good. His whip, walks plus hits divided by innings pitched, 1.17. He's also had 40 fewer hits per inning pitched this year. He needs to go deep into the starts. He's done that. At least 6 innings, 9 consecutive starts. That really helps the bullpen. And in the zone, that's where he needs to stay. 11 walks in his last 3 starts is not going to get it done.
Infield in here in the first inning. Dustin Pedroia takes a first pitch curveball for a strike. We have mentioned how tough these Red Sox have been. Well, we didn't waste any time until Eric Cooper lets Red Sox know what he thinks. I'll start with you right there. He picked somebody out right off the bat. Let's see, we're about 8 minutes into the game, and he's jumping on the Red Sox bench.
I think that's 7 pitches, isn't it? 6 pitches.
Oh and 1. Now the breaking ball. It's a ball on a strike. We mentioned the Red Sox and how tough they've been on Ricky Romero. This lineup that's in here tonight combined is at 407 against Romero. So he's got to make some pitches. Off speed pitch.
Well, he certainly has enough pitches to get the Red Sox out. Again, he's made 11 career starts. He's only beaten them twice. And before the game, John Farrell was talking about that and the problems that Romero has had with the Red Sox. Got to get ahead, and he's done that first couple of batters here. And then use that changeup and also get that curveball into the mix just a little bit more.
He's utilized that to Pedroia. 1 and 2, 1 out. Bounced down the third baseline, just foul. Dustin Pedroia drops down into the third spot in the lineup. Pedroia for his career is 8 for 16 against Ricky Romero. Josh Beckett is back. He went to Boston, had his ankle checked. He has got a little ankle support on there. He left his start here on Monday afternoon, and the tests were all positive, but they're not really sure when he's going to be able to pitch again. Cut on and missed. Another curveball. That curveball has served him well so far.
It's also imperative that he keep the ball down against the Red Sox. If you do that, look at the pitch tracks. Every one of those pitches, the lower part of the strike zone. And again, that curveball is going to play tonight. If you get ahead early in the count, that just expands the strike zone for you.
Ellsbury at third. David Ortiz. He too has had a big series. In the series, Ortiz has gone 7 for 14, pair of doubles and a home run. He's driven in 3.
He's in one of those RBI modes right now as Ortiz. 21 games, he's had 20 RBIs. They come in bunches, just like the home runs.
Yeah, they sure do. And normally you look up and Adrian Gonzalez is sitting in the third spot. And you got Pedroia second and Ellsbury first. Breaking ball. Romero's going to get out of it. Kelly Johnson will throw out Ortiz. Good job by Ricky Romero. He gets through a misplay ball in the outfield. Has a good first inning. I was talking to Mike McCoy. Jose Bautista had been there at the start of the conversation, just talking about communications and being able to hear one another out in the outfield. Blue Jays trying to get to 500. If they do that tonight, they'll win the series 3-1. Escobar, Thames, Bautista, top of the order. Edwin Encarnacion, a career-high tying 5 RBI in the game last night. Kelly Johnson, Brett Laurie, David Cooper gets the start. J.P. Arancibia hit his 21st home run of the season last night. And Mike McCoy, the center fielder, will bat tonight.
They get the lefty. Red Sox hoping for a better outing tonight from Andrew Miller in his last start. That was against Texas. He can only go an inning and a third. Torched for 6 runs, including 4 walks. He had won his previous 2 starts. Tonight they need a big one from Miller.
Andrew Miller, very interesting study, as he was a #1 draft pick of the Detroit Tigers. Pitched 3 games in the minor leagues and made his major league debut at Yankee Stadium. Came in relief. Another breaking ball.
That's where the Blue Jays last saw Andrew Miller. 1 relief appearance versus the Blue Jays when he was with Detroit. That was back in 2006. This is his first career start against Toronto.
Miller signed as a minor league free agent in December. Another breaking ball. Came out of North Carolina University. He was the college pitcher of the year in 2006. Pitched the Tar Heels to the College World Series.
I remember when Detroit took him in the first round. It's like, okay, here we go again. They got a guy who fell to them. They were able to pay over slot money and a good young arm. But things really haven't worked out for him. He has had issues, control issues in his career. This year he is averaging almost 19 pitches per inning, which is actually his career best coming into this game. Two and two.
Line down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Up against the wall. It bounces away. And Escobar will start things off with a leadoff double. Josh Reddick got over and played it off the wall, but by the time he retrieved it, got it back to the infield. Escobar standing at second.
He uses the whole field as well as anybody on the Blue Jays. You know, Escobar picks on this pitch again. Miller has trouble getting the ball located where he wants to. This time it's up and over the middle of the plate. That patented inside-out swing by Escobar rewarded again with another extra base hit. And his average just keeps climbing.
It's his second double of the series. Eric Thames has had a rough series, 0 for 11 in the series, but his walk in last night's game, John Farrell called it the turning point in the ball game. That came in the 8th inning, forced in a run.
Fell behind Daniel Bard 0-2 and then battled his way back to 3-2 and then eventually would walk to get that run. Setting the stages for Encarnacion.
Waves at this breaking ball. 0-2.
That might be Miller's best pitch, the breaking ball. He's been inconsistent getting it over the strike zone, but it's a hammer. It's a 12-6 or whatever you want to call it in baseball terms. It's a good one and it's hard. So you're going to have to discipline yourself, make sure he gets it in the strike zone.
Thames in a hole. Pops it into center field. Ellsbury was deep. This is trouble. And what a play by Scudero. And now Escobar hustles back. I don't think Escobar expected anybody to catch that, but Scudero knew he was the only guy that had a shot, and he stayed with it.
It looked like Jacoby Ellsbury originally was fooled by the swing. Watch him out in center field as he breaks back and then realizes that this ball is going to land in, but Scudero comes out of nowhere and then has a heads-up play to try and get the ball back to second base to try and double up Escobar, who is caught out in no man's land. Nobody out. Great play by Scudero, and it almost cost him.
Boy, Scudero does a great job of focusing on that baseball and then alertly goes right to second base. Escobar got back just ahead of the throw. Bautista hits it sharply. Escobar will go to third. Bautista's retired on one pitch. Take a look at the pop-up off the bat of Eric Thames and watch the infield umpires, how well they coordinated. Watch the umpire, Tim Timmons, at second.
There's all kind of rotation that has to go along. One goes to third, one goes to second. Then once the ball is caught, they've got to go back. There's the communication. And it's actually Tim Timmons who makes the call at second base, and it's a good one.
And it was a good one because he called off Mark Carlson once the ball was caught and said, I got it, I got it. And it was a very good job of communication. So the big bat in last night's game, Edwin Encarnacion. 5 RBIs. He's hit .303 since the All-Star break.
With a very good on-base percentage, his approach at the plate is so much better than we saw earlier. He's getting consistent at bats. He stays in the middle of the field. There are his numbers: home run, 7 RBIs over his last 8 games. None bigger than last night's bases clearing double.
His other previous 5 RBI game came when he was with the Reds against the Giants August 29th, 2008. Hit a grand slam in that game. Breaking ball. Scudero deep at short. Long throw, bounced just in time. Kevin Youkilis does a good job to dig it out of the dirt. Scudero with everything he had, a one-hop throw to first. Youkilis picks him up. Blue Jays threatened to score with 2 outs in the first, but a good defensive play. Has won the semifinal 3-game series against Eugene last night. They win the series 2-1. The starting pitcher for Vancouver was Aaron Sanchez, who was a draft choice just a year ago.
Yeah, very high draft pick. He walked the first 3 batters of the game, but then came back to pitch 4 2/3 scoreless innings, allowed 1 hit, walked 4, and struck out 8 batters as Vancouver advances in the Northwest League playoffs.
Vancouver will meet up with Tri-City in the championship series.
That is an affiliate of the Colorado Rockies, the Tri-Cities team. The Eugene team they beat was a San Diego farm team.
Kevin Youkilis, ball on the strike. Goes after that pitch. Romero has established that he's going to pitch ahead early in this game. We saw that pattern work very effectively on Monday afternoon for Henderson Alvarez. He was throwing strike after strike and really overpowered the Red Sox. Broken bat. Big hop there for Lowry. One down.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Ricky Romero, we had mentioned his problems with this Red Sox ball club, and he worked through the 5 top hitters in this lineup, and they're the ones that get in the most trouble. But this is a battle for Romero. Jed Lowry, switch hitter. And if you think you're out of the woods, Romero realizes Lowry's hit him hard. 5 for 8 for Lowry against Romero.
Lowry has the 6th best average against left-handed pitching in the American League.
Rolls over on this one. Tricky hop for Lowry. Great reactions. When you're 21 in the big leagues, I guess you could say you've got it made. Everything's pretty rosy. Look at him and his roomie, J.P. Arancibia.
Tossing the football. That's a nice looking spiral there.
Yeah, I just missed by about 5 yards.
Oh. We had a shot of him the other day. That's a nice looking pass right there. Had a shot of him on his home run, how he got up high at home plate. So he's got some hang time in those legs.
Very athletic. Imagine he could excel in anything he did. J.P. Arancibia, Brett Lowry have really become good friends. They room together in spring training. Jason Varitek, the captain, is back in the lineup. Jared Saltalamacchia caught the last 2 games. Varitek opened up this series on Monday afternoon behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This is good to see. A lot of strikes early in the count. Get ahead, and you can use everything else.
Breaking ball. That's down the left side, but foul.
If you get ahead early, it just makes everything that much easier for you. He has thrown 22 pitches thus far in this game, 17 of them for strikes. This looks like the different Ricky Romero than we saw the last time out against New York.
Strikes out Varitek, elevates the fastball. That's his 2nd strikeout of the night. He has a 1-2-3 second inning. Ricky Romero is pitching ahead, off to a good start. To take their place in the left field pen. The relievers go down there, and that's the rookie core, if you will. Chad Beck, Kyle Draybeck, Daniel Farquhar, and Joel Carreño, and they're packing the goodies in there. Sunflower seeds, bubble gum, candy bars, probably a drink or 2. But they have this rookie hazing process they all go through.
The Snick-Snack bag. I think that's their Dora the Explorer bag that they have out there. All rookies go through it. It's not just the Blue Jays. Everybody does it.
Part of the team building process. Kelly Johnson's had a rough series, 1 for 12 in the 3 games. Johnson is familiar with Andrew Miller. Both spent time in the National League. He is 3 for 5 against the Red Sox left-hander.
I imagine that there's going to be an adjustment period for Kelly Johnson coming over to the new league. You're facing pitchers pretty much for the first time. You might see him in spring training, or you might see him in interleague play. Since the trade, there are his numbers, so there'll be an adjustment period. But I like what I see from Kelly Johnson, offensively and defensively.
Check swing up the middle. Pedroia near the bag at second. Not in time. Kelly Johnson got jammed, and that ball just bounced over the mound. By the time Pedroia got the throw to first, it was too late.
He was fooled by that sneaky fastball from Andrew Miller. Takes a half swing on that pitch, but he hits it in a good spot up the middle. Got a head down, and he's thinking about base hit. Pedroia, watch where he comes to get this one, and right when he starts to reach for it, there's a little stumble, and that allows Johnson to beat it out. See, that'll make up for a lot of line drive right at the infielders.
Leadoff single, Brett Lordy. You mentioned Kelly Johnson adjusting to American League pitchers and how difficult it is. Is it more difficult for a veteran like Kelly Johnson to adjust, or for a rookie facing big league pitchers for the first time?
I think a veteran, because he is stuck in his ways, and he's been in the other league, and he knows the pitchers. A rookie comes up here, he's just looking for the baseball, just trying to make an impression.
Everybody's the same. Doesn't know any of them.
Yep.
But for a veteran, when you have a game plan, you like to break down, pick up on patterns, and you lose your book, if you will, when you change leagues. There goes Johnson. He got a great jump. What a hit and run. Kelly Johnson easily first to third. Brett Lordy got the hit and run and perfectly executes it. Throws it into right, first and third, nobody out.
Shot that ball in right field on the hit. Was beautiful. Scouting report, let's take a look at that real quick for Andrew Miller. He's got a big league arm. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got a good curveball. He's the #1 pick again in Detroit back in 2006. He's been having inconsistent results. A winning record, but an ERA over 5 and a batting average against of 300. And I think the thing he needs to do is reduce the base runners. He's had 56 in the third innings coming into this game, but 105 base runners. He's been pitching out of the stretch all season long.
David Cooper getting his first start. The numbers at Las Vegas, very impressive. He drove in 96. 364 average. That was best in the Coast League. He won the batting title in the Pacific Coast League. Hits this ball into left center. It drops. Kelly Johnson will jog in. First one of the ball game, and David Cooper didn't waste any time picking up an RBI.
It's always easier the second time around when you come up to the big leagues. The first time up, it seems like the game goes 1,000 miles a minute. The second time up, though, you're relaxed. Hey, I've been here before. He stays right on that breaking ball and just dumps it to left field. This is his MO right here. Use the whole field. You're going to pick up a lot of RBIs with that type of swing.
It doesn't hurt that Cooper's facing the Red Sox. We mentioned he had his first big league home run back on May 10th against Daniel Bard and this Boston team. His home run came in the 8th inning. He came into the game as a pinch runner for Yunel Escobar. And then eventually Cooper would win the game in extra innings with a sacrifice fly.
Did that damage against a pretty decent pitcher, Daniel Bard.
Ball and a strike. Miller had a very short outing last time, as Pat mentioned, going just an inning in the third. He faced 7 batters in the second inning and was knocked out of the ball game. Nobody out here. This is a big start for the Red Sox on a couple of different fronts. Their bullpen has been used a lot lately. Terry Francona needs some length from Miller, and they're looking ahead at a 3-game series against Tampa Bay. And don't look now, but here come Tampa Bay.
They certainly have their shot. They've got the Red Sox 7 more times this season. 3 down in Tampa and 4 back at Fenway Park.
Two and 2 to Aaron Sebia. Tampa Bay won this afternoon. They beat Texas, and you look at the wild card, and Red Sox just 7 games up. They play 7 games head to head, and it's going to be interesting. Right now, the Red Sox pitching is really questionable with the injury to Josh Beckett.
They've got Clay Buchholz, who's just now throwing off some flat ground. You've got Daisuke Matsusaka, who is out. There's Beckett. They've termed it a sprained ankle, and he'll miss his next start. But that's his push-off leg, the power leg.
Full count. Long, deep drive, left field. Forget about this one. J.P. Aaron Sebia.
Number 21 last night against Tim Wakefield. He doesn't waste any time getting number 22, his first at bat here in the second inning. Down and in, dropped the head, and this is a bomb to left field. He knows it. He puts his head down right away because this one is not coming back. Watch where it lands in left field. Right into the box.
Still nobody out. 4 runs in. David Cooper, an RBI single. J.P. Aaron Sebia, his 22nd home run. Aaron Sebia now has 71 RBI.
How about that? He comes into this game hitting .220, and he's got 71 ribbies.
Mike McCoy, center fielder. Shows bunt, takes the ball. 3-1. Full count. Infield single, hit and run single, a bloop single, and then a blast. A 3-run home run. That's how this inning has unfolded. Mike McCoy bounces it over the mound. Scudero near second. 1 down. For every home run Toronto hits in today's game, you could win amazing prizes from Sharp, including Canada's largest LCD TV, a 70-inch Sharp Aquos. Enter online and hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Sharp makes bigger, better. So we are back to the top of the order. Escobar already has a double tonight. That big breaking curveball, but nowhere near the strike zone.
You know what? You can almost eliminate that breaking ball early in the count, and I think the Blue Jay batters have done that. Eliminate that, sit on the fastball until you get to 2 strikes, because he hasn't been able to show the hitters that he can throw it consistently. I remember when he signed with Detroit. He fell to them. They paid some extra slot money to get him. He came right to the big leagues. And then just like that, he was gone.
He spent time in each of his 6 seasons in a major league uniform. He's had talent, obviously. When he was called up with Detroit, Tigers were 4.5 games ahead of the Chicago White Sox, August 30th. 3-1. But now the question is going to be, did the Tigers put him in a tough spot, bring him to the big leagues so quickly before he had a chance to get himself acclimated to professional baseball? Here he walks Escobar.
Well, there's no question. He's got the size. He's got the arm strength. He's got good stuff. But when you can't throw it over, again, his last time out to the mound, gave up 6 runs, 4 walks, and just 1 strikeout for Miller.
Andrew Miller, 6 seasons. He's got 21 wins in the big leagues, and ERA almost at 6. And his walks and hits per innings pitched, almost 2. 6 overall by the Tigers in June of 2006. He comes out of Florida, and he just turned 26 years old. And when you look at, how this 06 draft produced so many great players, you have to wonder if the Tigers really hurt him by bringing him to the big leagues so quickly.
There was some talk that Kansas City was going to take him #1 overall. I mean, that's how well thought of he was when he was coming out of college. But what a loaded draft in the first round. Longoria, Brandon Morrow was also in that draft.
Kyle Graybeck. Thames bouncing ball to second. Pedroia to Scudero at second for 1. Back to first, and the Blue Jays are retired here in the second. But they put up a 4 spot. They get to Andrew Miller. They get 4 hits and 4 runs here in the second, and a 3-run blast by J.P. Arancibia, 22nd of the year. They came to that decision.
In Dustin's progression, he's at the point of increasing his total number of innings pitched in a given outing, total number of pitches thrown in that same outing. And for us to do that most effectively, we feel like he's in need of starting a game rather than trying to figure out, finishing up an inning, timing it right to where he gets enough warm-up time to come into a game and not be shortchanged in that area. So he's going to start Sunday. Met with he and Louis both to inform both guys of the change going forward. And it puts Louis back in the bullpen for us, where he's been very successful and gives us that other left-hander that we can use throughout the month of September.
So McGowan will indeed make his start on Sunday. Luis Perez will go back to the bullpen. And as John said, Perez pitched very well out of the bullpen. And he's obviously gained some experience getting 4 starts.
Probably suited more to pitch out of the bullpen with what he has, his breaking ball and his fastball, and he can come right after. He doesn't have to navigate 3 times through a lineup. He can use that left hand to his advantage.
Bautista got a good read off the bat, makes a catch on a line drive off the bat of Reddick.
As for McGowan, he got 75 pitches in the other night, and that's right on target with what he has been doing this whole season through his rehab. And they're thinking about 80, maybe 85 pitches for Sunday, which is about a normal start for a starter. So that is going to be fun to see him come out of there to start the game.
Run down, Darnell McDonald. Just off the outside corner. McDonald started in Tuesday night's game. Went 2 for 5 in that game. 2-0. Another thought on Dustin McGowan. His stuff was so good. All of his pitches had life. He had command. It was easy. And I think John Farrell saw that relief outing and said, you know what, we've got to take a look at him starting.
September is starting to shape up to the let's see what we have here month. Adam Lowen last night. Dustin McGowan this month, I think. Let's see what we have here. Kyle Drabek pitching out of the bullpen. There's Adam Lowen, who had his first big league hit last night.
Adam Lowen looks like a different player than we saw in the spring. Kyle Drabek is back. Beck is here. We'll get a chance to see him hopefully this month. In spring training, we mentioned this last night. In spring training, to me, Adam Lowen looked like a pitcher trying to hit. Now he looks like a threat with a bat in his hand.
He looks like a hitter.
He really made strides.
Yeah, he has worked very hard with Chad Mazzola. As Romero overthrows that one, and it's out of zone for his first walk given up. But this month of September, some of the young call-ups, John Farrell being new to the organization, being his first year, they have to find out what they have. Can Dustin McGowan hold up for, starts in the big leagues against big league hitters?
So the 1-out walk will turn the lineup over. This is a tough part of the lineup. Ellsbury goes after the first pitch. Johnson quickly to second, and that's all they'll get. But they get the lead runner.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Marco Scudero put down a perfect sacrifice bunt his first time up. Scudero missed 26 games this season with an oblique strain. Blue Jays are kind of wishing he'd missed the last 3 games the way he's been swinging the bat.
9 RBIs in his last 4 games for Scudero, so he moves up in the batting order. That oblique strain was right around the time we were facing it. Remember that? And he had lost his job to Jed Lowry at shortstop.
And Lowry would suffer shoulder problems, and Lowry would miss 45 games. Ball on a strike, 2 outs. Blue Jays up 4-0. Jays scored 5 runs in the 8th inning last night and 4 runs in the 2nd inning here tonight. Ricky Romero understands how you really have to grind on every hitter in this lineup. You don't want to take anything for granted. The guy on deck is just as dangerous.
Just like facing the Yankees in his last start. Pitched into the 7th inning, gave up 8 hits and 5 earned runs. But he was talking after that game how it was a grind. Every pitch is stressful. You get a little something extra on the pitch because the next guy is more dangerous than the guy you're facing, and no easy outs when you're facing these 2 lineups.
And it was the bottom of the order that got to Romero in New York in his last start in the second inning after being staked to a 2-0 lead. Eduardo Nunez had an RBI single, and then Francisco Cervelli had a 2-run home run. Romero with that step off and snap throw forces Ellsbury to dive back. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Got it. That high fastball does the trick. 3 strikeouts for Ricky Romero. Gives up a walk, but strands a base runner. Elevates the heater to Scudero. The Angels in a 3-game series. Jose Bautista. Bottom of the order got to Andrew Miller in the second. Bautista grounded to short his first time up. Veritek offered 4 different pitches to Miller. He didn't like any of them.
Looking at my scouting report, I didn't know he had more than 4.
There he spears that bouncing ball headed right over the mound, and Bautista's retired.
All fastballs to Jose. Maybe this is a new approach here in the 3rd inning. No messing around. I'm going to come right after you with my good heater.
Edwin Encarnacion was retired on a good defensive play, both by Scudero, the shortstop, and Euclid, the first baseman. Euclid dug out the low throw. Another fastball just outside. I think you're right. Look at Jason Veritek nodding to him. That was okay. At least throw it. Give yourself a chance.
Last inning we talked about the hitters just ignoring the breaking ball because he hasn't shown that he's been able to throw it over. I think he realizes that too, so he's coming right after him.
And he's fallen behind 3-0. Encarnacion had the green light in the first inning last night. Like he was taking all the way there. In that first inning at bat, he picked up a sacrifice fly on a 3-0 pitch. Drives this ball high and deep to right. Josh Reddick looking up. This ball is gone. Edwin Encarnacion goes opposite field. Home run number 16.
hitter with a flat swing, and when you have that, you can power balls the opposite way. This pitch is actually down and away and out of the strike zone. But we've seen it a lot from Encarnacion lately. He's got plate coverage. Just drives that ball into the netting over the bullpen in right field. He has now driven in 50 runs this season.
Encarnacion's 3-run double went to right center last night. Another pitch he stayed on that was away. Oh, 0-2 to Kelly Johnson. Well, Encarnacion's been a very good second half hitter. Johnson waves at that breaking ball. Encarnacion has been very productive, and look at the RBI leader since the All-Star break. Aaron Sebia with 33, Encarnacion 31, Bautista right behind him, and Adam Lynn. JP Aaron Sebia has proven to be the run producer everybody thought he would be.
Both of those players right there, Aaron Sebia and Encarnacion, their hits and their RBIs and their home runs, they come in bunches. And when they get into those streaks like we're starting to see from those two, they can really do some damage. Encarnacion hitting 4th tonight, Aaron Sebia 8th.
Brett Lawrie had a perfectly executed hit and run single to right. Kelly Johnson took off, and Lawrie just waited on it, slopped it into right field. That started the 4-run inning.
The more we watch Brett Lawrie play this game, the more it seems like there's nothing he can't do on a field. Spring training had a little hitch in his swing. He went down to the minor leagues. They talked about it with Chad Mottola, and Chad talked to him about it and said, look, you make a little hitch in your swing. He goes, I do?
This ball is in left center. Darnell McDonald runs it down. Laurie's retired, and the Blue Jays had a run. Edwin Encarnacion, a long home run to right field. Pitch was away. He goes with it. Down and away is the target. And Encarnacion connects. A pair of home runs tonight. JP Aaron Sebia, a 3-run home run, his 22nd. Edwin Encarnacion, a solo shot, his 16th. Ricky Romero gets ahead of Dustin Pedroia. Andrew Miller got roughed up by the Rangers last time out, and he's gotten off to a rough start here tonight. But we mentioned Harry Francona needs some depth from Andrew Miller tonight. Look at their bullpen, and they used Alfredo Aceves, and I guarantee you they'd love to keep Aceves out of this game if they could. They'll hold him back for the weekend.
They'll pitch him when they are ahead like this if they need him, long games, or if it's a tie game. And we got the big series with the Rays coming up this weekend, the big 3-game series. Daniel Bard was used 2 out of the 3 days so far in this series. So you got to figure that he is out in this game.
Bard had a rough inning last night. He certainly would rather not pitch tonight, and I'm sure the Red Sox will give him the night off. It's not that they are overlooking Blue Jays or taking them lightly, but their real competition comes in the next series, Tampa Bay, trying to hold them off in that wild card race. And I don't think you'd get the Red Sox to admit that. They say, you know, every game's important to us, but at the same time, they're looking ahead. Ricky Romero with that wicked changeup strikes out Dustin Pedroia. Ricky Romero has certainly taken on the mantle of this team's #1 pitcher, and he and Henderson Alvarez, the rookie, have combined to put up pretty impressive numbers for their 34 starts.
Together, just 34 starts, an ERA under 3. When you factor them out, what have the rest of the starters done? In 109 starts, ERA over 5 and a whip of about 1.5. So they've got to start following what Romero and Alvarez do, and that's throw a lot of strikes with a lot of quality pitches.
Well, I think the writing's certainly on the wall as far as John Farrell's concerned. He's looking for starting pitchers. He's looking for pitchers that can keep the ball in the ballpark. He's looking for pitchers that can pitch deep into a game on a consistent basis. And he's looking for pitchers that have movement and the ability to keep the ball on the ground.
I think also execute. Do what you're trying to accomplish out there. If you want to throw fastballs on the outside part of the plate, you have to show me that you can throw to the outside part of the plate. Use your breaking ball, pitch, things like that. It's a home run hitter's ballpark, and I think if you can sink the ball and keep it down, you're going to be fine.
And he's not opposed to any one of these guys stepping up and grabbing a hold of that job. I think they all have the ability to it, but it's to a point where you have to see some progress. You have to see some growth where guys can manage their games and take it to the next level. That's the thing about Ricky Romero. Every aspect of his game has gotten better each year.
All the good stats have gone up. The strikeouts, the wins, the innings pitched, and all the other bad ones have been going down.
2-2. Breaking ball. Laurie in right field quickly to Cooper, and Ortiz is thrown out, hit right into the shift.
I agree with you about Romero. He has taken giant steps as Laurie will make his way back over to third base after that shift.
Well, when you think about how Romero has been thrust into this role, it's an awful lot to ask for a third-year pitcher. Roy Halladay, A.J. Burnett, Sean Markham. All #1s have left, and now Ricky Romero is the guy. He believes he's capable of doing it.
Certainly, and that's half the battle, right? That you believe in yourself. But I think he understands himself a lot better this year than any other year that he's been in the big leagues. When he was younger, when he would get into trouble, he'd try and hump up and throw the ball by you. Now he knows when to back off just a little bit more, when to pitch. I think Bruce Walton's been a very positive influence on him.
What a wicked breaking ball.
It's the changeup. The pitch that we talked about earlier, that's going to be a big pitch for him. It just drops right off the table and goes down and away.
And breaks in 2 different directions. 2-2. Missed that outside corner. When you talk about the impact of Walton, you can also include Pat Henkin and John Farrell. They're all pitchers. They're all thinking about pitching all the time. And I think the trio has been really kind of like a three-headed monster as far as getting this pitching staff headed in the right direction. Full count. He loses him. Gilchrist takes a 2-out walk. That's the second walk Romero has issued.
You know, just a little bit of wisdom that Pat Henkin was talking about before the game about facing your nemesis. He was talking about the Detroit Tigers he never had any success against when he first came up. That little bit of wisdom telling Romero, hey, look, you got to pitch through it. You can't let the Boston Red Sox psych you out. You got to do the things that got you here and made you a good pitcher. I don't care who it is. Henkin pitched through his problems against the Tigers, and tonight Romero looks like a different pitcher against Boston.
Off-speed pitch. He's ahead of Jed Lowry. Henkin's big monster with the Tigers, and of course that's where his hometown was. He was a Michigan guy. He was a Tiger fan. As a young player, you go in there and you're going to have a lot of family and friends, and I'm sure that contributed to that slow start. You get distracted before you really know how to handle that. And Pat told Ricky about it, talked to him about it, said, hey, you're going to get through this. 0-2, 2 outs, way outside.
Remember the first time Ricky pitched out in Los Angeles? Same thing. But he has seemed to handle that. Did not have a lot of success his first game pitching against the Angels. Next time he went out there, he pitched at the M.
Fly ball into right. Bautista to his right. McCoy, the center fielder, calls him off, takes charge, and makes the catch. Earlier communication problems non-existent here in the fourth. On TV and Blu-ray player. To enter his visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. Sharp Aquos makes bigger, better. David Cooper will lead things off in the fourth. He had an RBI single. Whipped over the head of the shortstop his first time up. Cooper, as we mentioned, the batting champ in the Pacific Coast League. Chad Mottola is here with the ball club. He was the hitting coach in AAA, and he watched Cooper the last couple of years in the minor leagues and thought David Cooper has really made dramatic strides.
He can pull the ball now. When he first started in the minor leagues, he was an opposite field type of hitter, sliced the ball the other way. And now he can pull the ball like that.
Hit it in the gap. This ball is going all the way to the wall. Cooper is around first, headed for second, thinking about third, but shuts it down. Wow, that was a pretty swing.
That was a very pretty swing. I was standing around the cage yesterday with his manager from last year, Louis Rivera, and he said he hasn't been able to pull the ball, but now he can. That is throwing the head on a low fastball. Get it out. Look at that. That is a pretty swing from David Cooper as he drills the ball into right center field. You talked about him having the batting average. He had the best batting average of any Blue Jay minor leaguer this year. He also had 51 doubles in AAA.
J.P. Arencibia hit a long home run in the second. Good rip at that pitch. Mentioned David Cooper winning the batting title for Las Vegas. The Las Vegas 51s. The franchise has had just 4 batting champs. John Kruk, James Loney, and Terry Tiffey. Now Cooper is the 4th. John Kruk was a pretty good hitter. At the time he was playing with San Diego in AAA Las Vegas.
Yeah, when their AAA affiliate was Las Vegas. Terry Tiffey's an up and down player with Minnesota.
James Loney was there as part of the Dodgers when they were playing in Las Vegas. And of course, he's playing first for the Dodgers right now. Strike 3 call. Miller threw that curveball on the back door and gets Arencibia.
Veritek wanted this ball down and in, but it backs up and stays on the outside part of the plate. And it just catches the corner. Just his second strikeout tonight.
Center fielder Mike McCoy. Two and 0. 4th inning, 1 out. Right-hander Michael Bowden starts to throw for the Red Sox. Of course, the expanded rosters give you extra players if you choose to bring them up. Bouncing ball to short. Cooper goes back to the bag, and McCoy is out. 2 down.
The Red Sox AAA team, Pawtucket, is in the playoffs, so they haven't been able, the Red Sox haven't been able to bring up some of their AAA arms to give them a breather down in that bullpen. Blue Jays AAA team is out of it, so they're able to bring up some arms.
Yunel Escobar. Yunel missed the first game of this series. Still getting over the effects of banging up his wrist in New York. Well, what a job by Veritek to smother that ball. Moves pretty good for an old guy, doesn't he?
Practices it. He practices at it every single day. Moves quickly and just smothers that ball.
Boy, it is so easy just to take a day off here or there. Veritek never does it with his work. Preparation is exceptional every single day.
I think they're going to pitch very carefully here to Escobar with 2 outs and first base open. They've got the left-hander on deck in Thames.
Really no reason to give in to Escobar here. Three and 0. I might let him hit right here with Thames on deck. There's a strike. Just because the left-hander is on deck, thought maybe they would give him a chance to hit 3 and 0. 5-0 Blue Jays. Breaking ball, strike.
Escobar thought that ball was down, but check out pitch tracks. Tells us that that was a strike.
Now he walks. So he takes the walk with 2 outs. Second walk tonight for Escobar. He's been on base all 3 times. Eric Thames will bat with runners at first and second. Cooper led it off with a double.
And if you're a young player like Eric Thames, you got to want him to walk Escobar and get to you. You want to prove to your manager, your organization, that you can handle left-handed pitching and that you can come through with a big 2-out RBI. He knows they were pitching around him. You got to want that.
And the manager is going to keep a close eye on how you handle the at-bat.
His at-bat last night was exceptional against one of the best setup men, best relievers in all of baseball.
Bases loaded against Daniel Bard. He fell behind 0-2 and worked Bard for the walk. Picked up an RBI.
John Farrell talked about it after the game. It's one of the first things he said after last night's game. And he said it again today in the media scrum that Eric Thames at bat was one of the best that he has seen from Eric this whole season.
Two and two. Fastball on the outside edge. The Jays scored 4 in the second, added a single run in the third. Thames is caught looking. That ends the inning. Blue Jays stranded pair. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry broadcast studio. .30 p.m. Pacific time, the 2011 Young Stars Tournament. Some young players involved with the Canucks and Oilers on Sportsnet West. An opportunity to see some rising young hockey players on the ice, and Rogers Sportsnet West will bring it all to you. Ricky Romero holding the Red Sox to 1 hit through the first 4 innings. It'll be 7, 8, 9 in the Red Sox order. Veritek, Reddick, and McDonald. First pitch strike. That's been a theme all night long for Ricky Romero.
It's one of the first things that John Farrell was talking about Ricky tonight. Pitch ahead in the count. It's imperative that he does that.
And that creates swings like that. When you put hitters in a defensive mode, they have to expand, and they'll chase borderline pitches. Even the Boston Red Sox.
Even the Red Sox, even the Yankees. We saw Henderson Alvarez do that on Monday here. And we're seeing Ricky Romero do it tonight.
3-pitch strikeout, number 5 for Romero tonight.
You get ahead, then you can use those good strikeout pitches that he has. That looked like the changeup, the way he was gripping it, the way it came out of his hand. There's the grip, and it goes down. Second time tonight that he has struck out Jason Varitek.
5 Ks for Romero. Josh Reddick, pretty interesting young hitter. He hit a curveball off Romero on a line to right field. Bautista caught it. But he had a curveball off McGowan for a home run here 2 nights ago. For a young hitter, he has a pretty good idea what he wants to do with the plate. A lot of times you get good young hitters up and they will wave at those breaking balls and chase them down in the dirt. I haven't seen that from Reddick.
Yeah, it's very quiet with his swing. Stays back on the ball, uses his hands nicely.
Hit that ball hard. Another breaking ball.
Got through that one.
You can see Aaron Sevilla wanted that breaking ball away, and Romero just didn't quite get it there.
It's not his curveball. He wants to cut his fastball or a slider, and he wanted it off the plate. And you saw him kind of gesture to Romero. Let's get it off the plate, see if we can get him to reach for it. But he just couldn't get the extension out in front to put it on the outside corner.
That ball is hit high and deep to center. McCoy back looking up. This ball is off the wall. Reddick will stop at second with a long double off the center field fence. He can swing the bat.
Yes, he can. Again, he's very quiet at the plate. There's not a lot of extra movement, extra motion in his swing, and he uses his hands. Watch this. Barely strides, stays behind the ball. Smokes that ball to center field. Halfway up.
17th double of the season for the Red Sox right fielder. Number 9 hitter, Darnell McDonald. Romero walked him in the 3rd.
This is where Romero has been tough this year. When runners get in scoring position, he has been able to bear down. Matters hitting just 174 against Ricky when he's pitching with runners in scoring position.
Ball on a strike. McDonald went after that first pitch. Tonight, Romero has thrown 12 of 18 first pitch strikes. And that's a terrific number, and that's what you have to do against Boston. Pitch ahead. Keep them in a hole. Good change up there. 1-2.
You set the tempo when you're out on that mound and you're pumping strikes in there. Controlling the at-bats instead of the other way around. There we see fighting it. The batters, especially the Red Sox type of hitters, they control the tempo of the at-bat.
Two and two. Two balls, 2 strikes. Romero with a 5-run lead. Romero 13-10 for the season, looking for his 14th win. That would tie his career high. He won 14 last year. Fouled out of play. I think that's important too. You look at your third-year starter. He's won double-digit games each of his first 3 seasons. And you need a guy to take you to 15, 18, eventually 20 games.
And he can do it, too. He has pitched some beautiful ball games this year where he just hasn't had the run support to work with, matching up with some of the tough pitchers from the teams that they have faced him.
Ball is hit into shallow center. McCoy initially took a step back, and he recovers to retire McDonald. At the top of the order, we talked about how tough they have been on Ricky Romero, but it's been a different story for Romero tonight as he's handled them very effectively.
Here are the numbers again before tonight. Combined .427 average so far, 1 for 7 with a base on ball. That went to Kevin Youkilis. You throw in Marco Scutaro, who came into this game hitting second behind Ellsbury and in front of Pedroia, a career .308 hitter against Romero. That's a tough first 5. And we said in the opening that we will know very quickly if Romero's got his good stuff. And right away, right from the beginning, he's been throwing first pitch strikes.
Ellsbury had a double in his first at bat. And then Ricky has handled that top 5 part of the lineup very effectively. Pedroia has struck out twice. Oh, 0-2. Lots of Red Sox fans always on hand when Boston's in town. Aaron Savia gets called out to the mound by Romero. Just wants to make sure here that they don't let Ellsbury get away. He's been a red-hot hitter throughout this entire series.
You mentioned that 12-game hit streak that he had. He made it 13 with that first inning double. That's the second longest that he has had this year. He had a 19-game hit streak earlier this year. So he is a very dangerous hitter. He also hits .350 with runners in scoring position.
Whatever Ricky Romero had on his mind, he was able to execute. He locks up Jacoby Ellsbury with a good hook. He freezes a red-hot hitter. Strike 3 with a good breaking ball. That's 6 for Romero. Season with that bat for your BlackBerry, iPad, or iPhone. Listen to live radio broadcasts and receive batter-by-batter information for every game. AtBat 2011 allows you to customize the app to receive Blue Jays specific news and alerts. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Jose Bautista, a couple of ground outs tonight. .40 home runs. Only the second Blue Jay to have back-to-back 40-plus home run season. Off the end of the bat. Lucas waits on it. He'll go to the bag, and Bautista is out.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Red-hot Edwin Encarnacion steps in. In an opposite field home run his last time up. You mentioned Edwin is a very streaky hitter, and right now he's on everything. Even that pitch outside, he sees it well enough to lay off of.
He loads up on that back leg, but his bat stays flat. And you watch him attack the baseball. Loads up on his back leg, bat stays flat, and when he sees the ball, keeps that front shoulder in and good things happen. Takes that one down and away. It's amazing how like one hit can like really turn you around, and that confidence. I mean, he was excited, and so was the team yesterday on that big hit off of Wheeler.
And after that slow breaking ball, that evens the count at 2-2.
Can just get you in that frame of mind of, you know, just being invincible. Got robbed of a hit his first time up tonight, and then homered to right field.
Full count. Edwin didn't hit his first home run of the season until May 29th. And that was really wearing on him. Drives this ball to the gap. Reddick on the run. He's not going to get it off the wall. Encarnacion's headed for second. He is on fire. Boy, that is Double E Alley out there in right center.
Yeah, you're going to have to rename right center field here. Double E Alley. His last 3 hits have all been extra base hits, and they've all come to right field. Doubled and scored 3 runs last night. Homer to right field here tonight, and now gets himself into scoring position with his 35th double of the season to right center field.
New career high for Encarnacion. He established that last night with his 34th double. Kelly Johnson. That breaking ball has been tough for Johnson tonight. He struck out on a good breaking ball from Miller his last time up. The Jays have scored 5 runs on 8 hits. Johnson fights it off.
Miller's thrown some good pitches to Kelly Johnson tonight. Breaking ball last time up to strike him out. He's thrown a couple of good ones here, and now he finds himself in a hole.
We talked about the steady diet of left-handers Johnson has seen since he's joined the Blue Jays. You saw David Price, C.C. Sabathia, John Lester, now Andrew Miller, and he pulls this one off the end of the bat to the second baseman. Encarnacion moves over to third. There are 2 down.
And he's getting Andrew Miller throwing in tough pitches. We were talking the last time that Brett Lawrie was at the plate about the little bit of a hitch that he had in his swing and went down to AAA. Chad Mottola talked to him about that. He didn't really realize that he was doing it. And he said, don't do that. And Brett said, okay, I won't.
And he stopped.
And he just started raking down in AAA.
Now, first of all, he didn't really realize he had just a lot of movement in his hands. And Dwayne Murphy saw it in the spring and was kind of concerned about it. Said, well, he's going to have to make a change. But Murphy never really approached him because Lawrie swung the bat pretty well. And then Mottola, once he got down in AAA, said, you know, we're going to have to address that. Because address what? Because that little bat waggle.
A little bit of a hitch where he would take the head of the bat and kind of point it towards the first base dugout before he took it back. Didn't even realize he was doing it. And that day he stopped doing it. And he's a lot quicker getting to pitches now, and he is just powering balls to all fields.
Well, it's just an extra movement that has to be timed. And if you can eliminate that, you eliminate the risk of being late. Andrew Miller has asked for time. He had to retie his shoe, and that's why Lawrie stepped out of the batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Encarnacion at third base. Line to third. Lawrie is there, and Brett Lawrie lines out to Jed Lowry. That ends the 5th inning. Blue Jays lead it by 5. Andrew Miller, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, couple of long home runs, and Ricky Romero has stymied the Red Sox through 5.
6 strikeouts, a couple of walks. He's only given them 2 hits. A leadoff double to Ellsbury. That there were some communication problems in right center field between McCoy and Bautista, and then Reddick's double off the center field wall, and that's been it. He has been very good. Miller has pitched shutout baseball the last couple of innings.
Scudero, Pedroia, Ortiz, tough part of the order. Another first pitch strike from Romero. Changeup missed down and away. You know, we've talked about first pitch strikes, and John Farrell always encourages all of his pitchers to throw first pitch strikes, but it's the quality of the strikes that really makes the difference. And good starting pitchers can command strikes in the zone, and that's what Romero has done here tonight.
He has used his fastball for the most part early in the count to get ahead, and then mixed in his curveball and his changeup. That time Scudero, a very hot hitter, 340 over his last 28 games, hits a good 2-strike pitch. Curveball, looking for the strikeout, but it just hangs up just a little bit too much. And again, Scooter's hot.
Again, with 2 strikes, good hitters are protecting the plate, and that slow curveball gives Scooter a lot of time to identify it, and even when it was down, he could still get to it. Big swing and a miss from Pedroia.
That's one thing about Pedroia. He's not going to get cheated.
He goes up there with an idea, and well, what a good player he is. When you think about all of the obstacles he's had to overcome, and the biggest one is his size. He's been discounted his whole life because he wasn't 6'2".
You have to prove yourself every single day. Again, he has had a tough series, but you watch him, even when he hits a ground ball, no matter the score, the inning, the count, nothing. The guy busts it down first base.
Bouncing ball to Laurie. Quickly to second for 1. That's all they'll get. That ball, Laurie had to back up a step or 2 before he gloved it. And then his throw was a little bit low, and all Kelly Johnson could do was get the force out.
Johnson didn't panic either at second base. He knew that they had to get an out here. Laurie backs up, and the throw is to the outfield side. So instead of trying to make something where there isn't anything there, he just gets the out very calmly. Gets the force play, and now keeps the double play in order.
You see the shift now with a runner at first, and Ortiz the batter. Breaking ball, and Ortiz almost moved right into that.
Curveball. Hung on to it just a little bit too long and almost hit the bat of David Ortiz. He's leaning out over the plate. He sees it coming at him and ducks out of the way.
Just don't know where to go when that pitch is behind you. Ball on the strike. That reminds me of Chase Utley in last night's game. Facing Eric O'Flaherty of the Braves. Utley lost the pitch and turned his head away and got hit right in the back of the helmet. Stayed on his feet. Ball went into the seats, but he would leave the game a couple of innings later. That ball is drilled toward the gap, but that's going to hang up, and McCoy comes over. Obviously, McCoy was told take charge, and he did. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. McCoy and Bautista got their signals crossed in the first inning, let a ball fall between them, and after that we saw Torey Lovullo talking to the 2 outfielders in the dugout, and the message must have been, Mike, you're the center fielder, take charge.
Last 2 balls that have been hit out into right center field, McCoy has taken charge and taken those balls. You have to. He hasn't played out there that much this year, but playing a lot more since Colby Rasmus went on the DL.
Oh, and 2. Colby Rasmus took BP today and looked awfully good. Hit several balls out of the ballpark and told his manager, I'm ready to play right now. And they're going to consider a rehab assignment. That ball is bounced and blocked by Aaron Sebia. Colby Rasmus had quite a BP session early on this afternoon. George Poulos, the trainer, was out watching him. They checked with him. Poulos asked him how he felt, and I didn't see him doing anything that suggested he had any ill effects whatsoever.
He had some pop in his bat this afternoon. Lining balls everywhere.
And at the same time, he's been out a while, and John Farrell suggested they'll figure out a place to get Colby Rasmus some at-bats before he returns to action here in the big leagues.
Maybe go down to New Hampshire while they're in the playoffs and 8-10 at-bats, something like that, just to get your timing because you've been out for a couple of weeks. Gilchrist strikes out.
6 strikeouts now for Ricky Romero. He is shutting down the Red Sox. Representatives from the Toronto Mets Baseball Club and the baseball team in the area. They have a great seat here tonight, and they have seen a couple of Blue Jays home runs. J.P. Arancibia and Edwin Encarnacion. Andrew Miller's night is done. He went 5 innings, and he was able to give Terry Francona a little bit of length after getting rocked early.
Miller with 93 pitches, 3 strikeouts, a couple of walks. The home run was the big story in this game for the Blue Jays against Andrew Miller. Gave up a couple of home runs, a 3-run shot to Arancibia, and then the solo home run to Encarnacion. His night is over after 8 hits in 5 innings. Michael Bowden takes over 9 games. They put him down in the minor leagues this year and made him a reliever, and it seems to have worked. He was tied for first among the Sox minor leaguers with 16 saves. He was a high draft pick for the Sox just a few years ago. 41 appearances in AAA Pawtucket this year, now pitching out of the bullpen for Terry Francona.
David Cooper off to a great start to his night. Singled and doubled in his first 2 at-bats. Changeup missed down and away. Ball and a strike. Blue Jays lead at 5-0. Trying to win the series against the Red Sox, 3-1. David Cooper, we mentioned he won the batting title, hitting .364 in AAA. And when you look at his 2 previous seasons, he spent 2 years at AA. And he was just a guy that really had figured it out with the bat. Back-to-back seasons at New Hampshire at .258 in 09, .257 in 2010. So this was a big jump for him this summer.
He had the most hits for a minor leaguer in the Blue Jays system, 170 hits. He had the most doubles, 51 of them this year. The most RBIs, you mentioned that, 96.
This time he fouls it into the glove of Veritek and strikes out.
Bowden paints him with a fastball on the outside corner.
That's the first out of the 6th inning. J.P. Arancibia. 3-run home run. 22 homers and 71 RBI. We mentioned that he's already established a new Blue Jays record for home runs by a catcher. Now he has his sights set up on the rookie home run record. That's held by Eric Hinsky. Hinsky hit 24 home runs in 2002. He also has the RBI mark for a rookie Blue Jay player, and that's 84. Certainly the home run record well within reach.
Last couple of nights, couple of home runs. Looking for another one right there. Trying for number 23.
Well, that's the kind of swing you're supposed to take. 2-0. And people have looked at his average and said, well, he's only hitting 222. I don't worry about that at all. He lines out to Ellsbury in center. There are 2 quick outs here. From a catcher, you want production. And Aaron Sebia has given the Blue Jays that.
17 doubles, 4 triples, an improvement behind the plate. I think it's been a pretty good year for him.
Mike McCoy grounded to short twice tonight.
Bowden again was a starter in the minor leagues. Coming into this year, he had made 119 minor league starts for the Red Sox. They put him in the bullpen this year. Seems to have worked out for him. Got that funky delivery. Tough to pick him up.
A little hesitation back behind his body. And then that arm comes out of that uniform, and it's tough to pick up the baseball. But Blue Jays, they've hit him hard. This is his 6th appearance against Toronto. This ball is hit to center field. Ellsbury on the run, turns his back to the infield, but gets to it just before he gets onto the warning track. 3 up, 3 down, 6th inning as Michael Bowden retires the Jays in order. Ricky Romero. Oh, 2 for the season against the Boston Red Sox. And look at these 4 hitters. And before tonight, they combined for a 427 average. Tonight, Romero's had the upper hand.
And the 1 hit, 1 for 11 tonight, was that bloop ball by Ellsbury to lead off the game where there was the communication problem. Fell in. He was credited with the double. So he has neutralized the top part of the lineup for the Red Sox tonight. It's only given up 3 hits all night long. But the main thing that he has done tonight is he has gotten ahead.
He's pitched ahead all night long and had the Red Sox hitters back on their heels. Red Sox scored 10 runs on 14 hits in last night's game, but they lost 11-10. And of course, they had that lopsided 14-0 win on Tuesday night when they put up 20 hits against the Jays.
You know, to put it into perspective also, the Red Sox coming into this game in 8 games in this ballpark against the Blue Jays this year had scored 68 runs.
Yikes.
It's over 8 runs a game against the Blue Jays, and Romero is shutting them out tonight.
Ground ball right to Escobar. It's short, easy play for Escobar. Ricky Romero has 7 strikeouts tonight, and he has had a combination of pitches that have worked very effectively.
Well, when you get ahead early, you can use your curveball. He's done that. He has used his changeup. He has blown the ball by some of these hitters. The Red Sox don't strike out a whole lot. They've got very patient hitters. They work the count, but so far tonight, Romero with 7 strikeouts, and he's used his changeup and curveball a lot late in the count.
Last time out against the Yankees, his cutter wasn't working for him, and he really had to grind the battle.
Yeah, kept forcing the ball too, and it just wasn't there for him. The last time he had at least 7 strikeouts in a game, you got to go all the way back to August the 2nd at Tampa, when he threw 8 innings against the Rays and had 7 punch-outs.
Varitek chases a high one. Varitek struck out twice tonight against Romero. Jason Varitek now 39 years old. It's a good changeup. Well, I tell you what, that's changeup. You know, you always talk about 10-mile-an-hour difference between your fastball and changeup. Romero's is always about 84, 85 miles an hour, a little bit harder than most changeup.
And it's a touch and feel type of pitch. I mean, you've got to get the feel for it and let it out of your hand nice and easily. He gets in trouble where he tries to throw it a little bit too hard, or he tries to spike it in there, or tries to throw it a little bit too hard. Tonight he has had a good feel for his changeup.
Varitek had to protect the plate with 2 strikes. Pat Henkin, we heard in the open Henkin's advice to Ricky Romero related to how Romero has had a tough time against the Red Sox. Said you're going to have to get over it. And Henkin related his own problem pitching against his hometown team, the Detroit Tigers. Varitek takes that changeup down the stairs. Romero has just reached the 100-pitch plateau. And there he'll walk Varitek. Walk comes with 1 out here in the 7th. That's the 3rd walk issued by Ricky Romero tonight. Josh Reddick has hit the ball hard in both of his 2 previous at-bats. He lined to left and doubled off the wall in center.
Both pitches were up to Reddick. He throws him a good changeup. He can get that ball on the ground. Romero has thrown a lot of double play grounders this year. 24 of them, which is tied for the 3rd most in the American League, and a lot of them off that tumbling changeup.
Got behind that breaking ball and just kind of cast it toward the plate, and it was well out of the zone. So he and Aaron Seaby will talk things over. It's a dangerous hitter. And now they're going to get some help from the pitching coach, Bruce Walton. Just a little reminder about staying in your delivery. You get to this point in the ball game, over 100 pitches, fatigue starts to be a factor. But to counteract that, pitching coaches will come out and say, listen, remember your delivery. Your delivery will get you through the fatigue of these later innings.
And that's why when we talk about as Casey Janssen starts to get warm, Romero has learned himself this year. When he finds himself into these types of spots, he is able to figure it out. Slow things down. A lot of times young pitchers, they want to rush and they want to try and finish the inning before they stay in their lanes, and they start rushing and the ball starts spiking everywhere. Romero hasn't done that this year.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Varitek at first. Popped him up. Bautista into shallow right, stays with it, and Reddick is retired, 2 down.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Number 9 hitter Darnell McDonald. This could be Romero's last inning. Been a strong 7 innings. Just 3 hits for Boston. Certainly you don't want to push Romero when you're trying to get him into a good mindset about pitching against the Red Sox.
Yeah, and if he can finish off this inning and get this hitter right here, and if indeed his night is finished, that's going to go a long way. We talked about that at the beginning of the show, about proving to yourself, proving to the ball club that you can handle these big hitters. And he's done a good job.
Three and one. You'll remember his quotes after his last outing in Boston when they really beat him up. He said, I don't know what it is. They must see something out of my hand. They must pick up my pitches. He was really frustrated. Bouncing ball. Escobar from the backhand. Scoots it on the ground. Not in time. Varitek was running from first to second, but Escobar's momentum was taking him away from second. And he just couldn't get much on the throw across the diamond to first.
The play might have been at second base where you plant that right foot. You can see Varitek still very far away from second base. And Romero upset with that infield single. McDonald can run, Varitek can't. Escobar elects to go across the infield, and it's a hit.
Back to the top of the order. Jacoby Ellsbury goes after the first pitch, and this is a fair ball down the left field line. Varitek around third. He's going to score. McDonald will be stopped at third as Jacoby Ellsbury jumps on the first pitch and picks up another double, his second of the night. 41st double of the season for Jacoby Ellsbury.
350 with runners in scoring position, and he's had a great series. Slices that ball down the left field line, stays on it. Will pick up the RBI, and that'll be his 89th RBI of the season. And the Red Sox with 2 outs, a couple of 2-out hits, and they're on the scoreboard.
Now, Ricky Romero would have preferred to come out after the inning, but the 1-out walk to Varitek, an infield single, and Jacoby Ellsbury's double, but Romero will get a well-deserved ovation as he leaves with the lead. Jansen's had a very good season.
Certainly has. He has been the go-to guy late in the game, the 7th, 8th inning for John Farrell this year because he throws a lot of strikes. Look at the strikeout to walk ratio, 45-14 this year. 212 earned run average for Jansen. He gets on that mound. He's in strike mode, and he just attacks with his fastball. And he's got a newfound cutter that's been very effective for him.
Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Marco Scutaro. Jansen missed all the way across the plate inside.
Very hot hitter right now, Scutaro. Again, 340 with 25 RBIs over his last 28 games.
Base hit left field. Darnell McDonald jogs home. Thames makes a throw to the plate. And it's late, and with that, Scutaro gets into scoring position. It's a 5-3 game.
Those runs will be charged to Ricky Romero. The base hit into left field by Scutaro. Again, Jacoby Ellsbury is running. There's no cutoff man as Thames comes in. Third baseman's got to be there for the cutoff man. He's at the bag, and that allows Scutaro to go to second base. Really no chance to get Ellsbury.
With 2 outs and McDonald hitting, Ricky Romero gets a ground ball hit to short. That's Varitek running. Now watch where Varitek is when Escobar gets the ball right there. He's got a chance to just plant and go to second for the 3rd out of the inning. But he goes across the diamond. Off balance throw. McDonald beats it out, and that keeps the inning alive for the Red Sox.
And they have scored 3 runs because of that. And watch the reaction from Romero. He looks over there. You're right. Just plant that right foot and throw a seed to the second baseman. He was only about halfway to the bag was Varitek. They would have been out of the inning, but it keeps it going. And the Red Sox, when they smell blood like this, they have another gear.
Dustin Pedroia. Breaking ball. Escobar behind second. Just in time, and the Red Sox are done in the 7th, but they cut into the lead. They put up 3 runs. They'll be charged to Romero, but he leaves with the lead. Seventh inning, and he has a pretty good outing, and he had a chance to have a clean outing and a chance to get out of that inning.
Yeah, certainly did, but the final number 6 2/3 for Romero. He only gave up 5 hits. That last one, that infield single, and then the 2 runners that were on base will be charged. Him will be charged with 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts for Romero, in line for his 14th win.
Guillermo Escobar takes a first pitch strike from Michael Bowden. Bowden in his 2nd inning of work. Bowden had a 1-2-3 sixth inning. Escobar has been on base all 3 times. Michael Bowden will turn 24 years old, 25 years old tomorrow, September 9th. Just getting started in his young career. This was lifted to right. 1 out.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Beautiful night here in Toronto. Nice cool evening. Great night for baseball. Eric Thames, another rough night tonight. He's 0 for 14 in this series against the Red Sox. They have pitched him well, and they have really taken advantage of his inability to lay off that high pitch. It's something that he's working on.
That pitch, too, has been a big problem for him. That breaking ball in the inner half. They've moved the ball around on him, I think, in this series quite nicely. Kept him guessing where they're going to try to locate the ball.
Long drive. He may have just snapped his offer. Home run, Eric Thames. Home run number 10. Blue Jays get one back.
You know, that's a big run. Red Sox scored 3 in the top of the inning. You got to do something to neutralize that, and Eric Thames takes care of that with one swing. They wanted to go down and away. It's belt high and in the middle of the plate. Then he smokes it to right field. No chance that one coming back.
Bowden comes right back with a fastball and gets ahead of Bautista. Wayne Murphy, the hitting coach, asking Thames about that pitch, where it was on the plate. Late breaking slider. Bowden's ahead 0-2.
You know, when you put his 2 seasons together, 17 home runs now. He hit 7 in AAA where he hit 352, and now the 10 that he has hit here in the big leagues.
0-2, 1 out. Well, you mentioned that was a big run. That extra run now. It's a 3-run game. And you have a chance to get past that meat of the order. You got Ortiz, Euclid, and Jed Lowry coming up in the 8th.
You certainly feel better with Ortiz leading off an inning as opposed to coming up with runners on base.
Managers will sit there and contemplate how they can get through the latter stages of the inning, and that extra run really gives you a lot more room to work with, especially with Ortiz leading off the 8th.
He got a couple of dangerous hitters too sitting on that bench who didn't start tonight.
Carl Crawford, Adrian Gonzalez did not start in the game. Crawford certainly available to hit, as is Gonzalez. The Red Sox are very aware that the Yankees were losers today and that Tampa Bay won. Long, deep drive left field, but that ball is foul. The 5th deck.
They want to go away, and that one is right in Bautista's wheelhouse. Watch where this one lands. Upstairs.
Down and away. It's 2-2.
It's a race now. Where is it?
It was a foul ball, not a fair ball.
That's in fair territory, guys.
Go to your left.
Look how far off they are.
They're getting a lot of help.
Oh, here comes somebody else. They got competition now. Nope, you're out.
Too high.
Wait a minute.
There you got it. Way back over there. It was a foul ball. 2-2. Three and two. That was well worth the effort. Full count, 1 out. And Bautista walks, running it back. He lays off that pitch in the dirt.
That long home run, I think, really got Michael Bowden thinking about keeping the ball away from him. He missed 3 straight pitches to Bautista, ended up walking him.
Well, Eric Thames got a lot of credit for his walk last night, and he has just 1 hit in this series, but that was a big hit off Michael Bowden. After the Red Sox scored 3 runs in the top half of the inning, Thames answers back with a solo shot. It's big because it stops the momentum of the Red Sox. They were hard charging. They were shut out 5-0. They put up 3, and then Thames answers.
And I don't care who you're playing. The Red Sox can come back, I think, on anybody with that offense. Just getting that 1 run, you just feel the momentum stay back over in the Blue Jays dugout now. They will not go quietly.
No, they don't settle for anything, and that's why they're battling for the postseason. Felix Dubrant, the left-hander, loosening up with Kelly Johnson on deck. Ball on the strike, and we had mentioned that Encarnacion has hit the ball right on the button 3 times tonight. He was thrown out when Scudero went deep in the hole at shortstop and made a good play. And then he homered to right and hit a opposite field double. Blue Jays have hit 3 home runs tonight. That's the 13th time they have done that this season. They have 3 4-homer games, including the opener against Minnesota. Bautista, a little bit of a distraction for Bowden now. They better not get too distracted with Encarnacion at the plate.
Yeah, and end up hanging the pitch. Looks like those signs came from the bench to throw over there. Varitek with a long look at the bench of the Red Sox.
Strike 3 call. Eric Cooper rings up Edwin Encarnacion on an inside pitch.
Coden's got plenty of fastball. And he throws that one on the inner half. It freezes Encarnacion. Second out of the inning, and now Terry Francona is out of the dugout.
Made the call for the left-hander with Kelly Johnson as scheduled batter. Bowden gets a pat on the back, and he'll turn things over to Felix Dubron. 2 outs here in the 7th. Blue Jays lead at 6-3. The Phillies to just 1 hit in 5 2/3, and no Chase Utley. He did not make the trip to Milwaukee. He got hit in the head last night, so Michael Martinez has started at second. New pitcher for the Red Sox is Felix Dubron.
Dubron into the ball game, the left-hander, to try to get the lefty-lefty matchup on Kelly Johnson. Terry Francona is looking for that second lefty in his bullpen for the playoffs, so it's been an audition for Dubron. Right now, he hasn't fared too well. Last time out, 4 days ago against Texas, he came in and gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits, a big blow, a triple by Josh Hamilton.
Bautista got hung up in between first and second, and now they'll put the rundown on him, tag him out. Bautista took a break towards second. Varitek saw him halfway when he stopped and got him in a rundown. Bautista, for some reason, was thinking about a delayed steal, but he saw Varitek had it, and they were able to tag him out. Jays and Yankees will start a game at 1:07 p.m. That's the Home Hardware Fan Appreciation Day, the T-shirt giveaway. First 10,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays jersey T-shirt. Players include Adam Lynn, Ricky Romero, and Yunel Escobar. Call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234 for tickets. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Sunday, September 18th. Casey Janssen facing David Ortiz. 0-2. Eric Cooper, the home plate umpire, kind of sent a message to the Red Sox in the first inning. After about the seventh pitch, somebody got on him from the dugout, and he said, "That'll be enough."
Yeah.
And he quieted that bench.
It's been good, though. We've had pitch tracks all night long, and we have showed some of those borderline pitches, and they have been strikes. Just good pitches.
Adrian Gonzalez did not start in the game. You could see he had his hitting gloves on. Talking with Dave Magadan, the hitting coach. That cutter. Oh, that's been a good pitch for Casey Janssen. It seems like the cutter has been the latest pitch that the pitchers have really fallen in love with. It's taken the baseball off the barrel of the bat, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, and it's been a very effective pitch.
It also helps when you're right-handed thrown to a lefty batter. Well, just off the plate, coming into him, just can't get the hands through. It's tough to get the barrel of the bat to the ball. It's just working its way towards the handle. You really have to hit the ball out in front.
2-2. Got it. Casey Janssen strikes out David Ortiz. That's the eighth.
Everything prior to this pitch was hard. Hard fastball, hard cutter. Now he messes up his timing by that looping curveball. You can see it's up. But because everything else was hard before that pitch, really threw the timing of Ortiz off, and he picks up the strikeout.
First pitch strike to Euclid. Euclid just 1 for 10 against Casey Janssen. Breaking ball on the ground. Escobar comes after it. 2 down. If you were a pitcher and you had to choose between a 95-mile-an-hour fastball or movement, which would you take?
Movement for sure. I guess it depends on how fast the movement is, but an average fastball, I would take the movement every single time. Hitters can turn around 95-mile-an-hour straight fastballs. Those balls go a long way. But if you can throw something to get it off the barrel of the bat, off the sweet spot, if it's off the end of the bat or if it's off the handle, I'll take that every time.
And Casey Janssen has certainly utilized that approach very effectively. Jed Lowry. Lowry cuts on that fastball down and away. Give me movement and command, and I'll go to war with you.
Greg Maddux had a Hall of Fame career with those two things. And he also had some smarts and then stuff.
Fly ball. Down the left side, Thames makes the catch in fair territory. Casey Janssen, a 1-2-3-8 inning. We have played 7.5. Let's check in with Jays Connected. Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio here at Rogers Center. from anywhere, online or on the go at RogersOnDemand.com.
Blue Jays had already scored 1 run in the second inning. This is the big blow. J.P. Arancibia goes down and gulps his 22nd home run into the upper deck here. RBI 69, 70, and 71 as Arancibia makes the trot around the bases for the 22nd time. Put the Blue Jays up 4-0 very quickly.
Kelly Johnson was at the plate when Bautista was caught stealing. Goes after the first pitch, and he grounds out to second. Brett Lawrie. He's lined to the third baseman, lined to left field, and single direct. First pitch strike. Blue Jays lead 6-3. Breaking ball down and in, and Lawrie swung right over the top of it. It's 0-2. Ripped down the left field line. That's a fair ball. All the way down into the corner. Lawrie is headed for second. And McDonald gets it back in, and Brett Lawrie comes up with a 2-strike double.
You know, just when you think you can get a fastball by him, he is quick on the inner half. Dubront tries to slip a fastball 0-2 by him. It's up, and look how quick that barrel comes through on a line as he rips it down into the corner for extra bases. That's a smooth swing, and it certainly is quick. One more time, up and in, ripped. And with that speed, he's got the ability to make things happen on the bases.
He's in scoring position with his 8th double of the season. David Cooper was 2 for 2 off the left-hander Andrew Miller. Then he struck out against Michael Bowden. Bowden, the first batter that Bowden faced in the 6th, and Cooper struck out. Two and 0.
Red Sox again looking for that second left-handed reliever in their bullpen. Brown was a starter in the minor leagues. Harry Francona saying, got to see if he can help his team in the playoffs. Says he can throw strikes to both sides.
Brett Lawrie was jockeying for a big secondary lead. Scudero chased him back, and then Dubront stepped off the mound. Cooper drives it to center. Ellsbury back. He's not going to get this one. Up against the wall. Lawrie's coming around third. He'll score. And what a night for David Cooper. His 3rd hit of the night. He's hit 2 doubles and driven in 2. All the damage coming against left-handed pitching.
And that's always a good sign. He's got a sweet swing. It's short, it's compact, and when he barrels up a ball, he's got some pop too. His 2nd double of the night, he drives this ball over the head of Jacoby Ellsbury. I think Ellsbury was surprised by the type of power that Cooper has.
So Blue Jays had some insurance here in the 8th. Matt Albers coming into the ballgame. Still just 1 out. Dunedin in the 8th inning leads Daytona 3-0. Asher Wojciechowski, big starter, 5 innings, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and then Double-A got another good pitching performance from Chad Jenkins.
How about Chad Jenkins? 7 innings, no earned runs, 9 strikeouts. Just 1 walk for Jenkins as they shut out the Reading Phillies to win that game.
Lansing trails Dayton in the 8th inning of Game 1 of the Midwest League playoffs. But boy, good news all around with the Blue Jays minor league system playing in the playoffs. 5 teams started in the playoffs.
Look at the zeros thrown up there. That's what I like. It all starts with pitching. The Blue Jays have a few in the minor leagues. Matt Albers now into the ballgame after Felix Dubronc gives up back-to-back doubles here in the 8th inning. Albers, 50 games now for the Red Sox.
Albers gave up the bases-loaded triple to Edwin Encarnacion in last night's game, and then he struck out Kelly Johnson to end the 8th. J.P. Arancibia takes a strike. 7-3 Blue Jays. Delayed call by Eric Cooper, but it looked like a good one. That 2-seam fastball came back and caught the outside corner. Arancibia fights it off.
Albers is a sinker slider type of pitcher. You mentioned that 2-seamer. He can throw it inside, outside to the right-handers. Got up to a good start for the Red Sox this year. He's been struggling a little bit of late.
Albers spent time on the disabled list with a lat strain. Missed 13 games in April, and there he gets Arancibia to chase that cutter. Fans, test your knowledge and win additional Sharp prizes by visiting the new Hit a Home Run with Sharp Facebook page. 2 down, Mike McCoy will stand in. Blue Jays have wrapped out 11 hits tonight. Following the strike. Albers in his first year with the Red Sox. Came from the Orioles. Originally started out in the Houston organization. Got a lot of life on his fastball, and there's the aspect we were talking about. 92-93 with great movement, as opposed to 94-95 in a straight fastball.
Tough to square those type of pitches up. You see it as it comes towards home plate, and you start to attack, and all of a sudden it moves off the plane where you think it's going to be, and that's when you get a lot of broken bats, get them off the end of the bat, weak ground balls.
Tries to catch that inside corner. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Blue Jays jumped on the Red Sox early. They scored 4 in the second, added 1 in the third. Full count. Blue Jays with a win tonight would move back to 500. They'd also win the series 3-1. It has been a rough season playing the Red Sox, but this has been a good series.
Maybe a little payback for the Blue Jays for the last time the Red Sox came to town. The Red Sox really handed it to them here at Rogers Center. Told you before this game, the Red Sox had outscored the Blue Jays 68-34 this year in this ballpark. But the record here before tonight's game is 4-4.
So the Blue Jays can go to 5-4 in the 9 games played here, and then they'll have 2 more games left with the Red Sox in Boston. McCoy breaks his bat. Jed Lowry throws him out. The inning is over. But the Blue Jays add an insurance run. They lead Boston 7-3. Casey Jansen did his work. Now it's up to Frank Francisco to close it out. Game today in Baltimore, and they will have a 3-game series. It'll all start tomorrow night, and we'll be right here at Rogers Sportsnet. 7:07 start. Pre-game show starts at 6:30. Frank Francisco into the ball game. This is not a save situation, but they want to make sure they had him up, and then the Blue Jays scored an extra run, and he got hot, so they're going to have him finish this one out.
Back-to-back nights for Francisco against the Red Sox. Pitched last night, picked up the save in the game with an inning, gave up 3 hits, a couple of earned runs, and a strikeout in that game. Giving up those runs snapped his season-high 16 consecutive scoreless innings against Boston last night. Adrian Gonzalez got him for a home run.
He's ahead of Eritek, 0-2. Very bizarre ending to the game last night in an 11-10 win. The final out of the game was thrown out at second. Mike Gavilas came on as a pinch runner, and Jose Molina threw him out at second to end that game. One ball, 2 strikes. High, deep drive, and that one is long gone. Jason Varitek into the second deck. Exactly the way Francisco started the ninth last night. A leadoff home run.
That was a short swing by Jason Varitek. his 11th home run. It's up and out of the strike zone, and he just short swing, stays up there and drives it out of the ballpark. You try and muscle up that pitch right there, and you're going to pop it up. He just dropped the head of the bat on it.
Francisco back with a first pitch strike to Josh Reddick. That splitter down and away. It's a ball on the strike. Adrian Gonzalez. We saw him with his hitting gloves on before. Now he's on the on-deck circle. As we mentioned, he homered against Francisco in the 9th in last night's game. Lifted into shallow center, and Escobar backs up. He gets there and makes the catch. One out.
Getting that first out always is a good thing. Just seems to take the pressure off.
Saw Gonzalez out on deck, and he has been called back in favor of Nate Spears. Spears came into the ball game Tuesday night as a defensive replacement. Took over in left field for Carl Crawford. Ended up going 0 for 2 in that game. One out, nobody on. Spears, a longtime minor leaguer, started out in the Orioles organization. He and Adam Lowen played together while Lowen was still working as a pitcher. And low A ball.
Opened up some eyes in spring training. Terry Francona and his coaching staff with his ability to play multiple positions, and had a good spring for him. Good attitude, hustled everything out.
0-2. Hit hard, but a big hop for the second baseman Johnson. 2 down. Red Sox down to their final out. Jacoby Ellsbury has had some series. Blue Jays won't be sorry to see him leave. 2 more doubles tonight in the series. Ellsbury is 9 for 18.
And those 2 doubles by Ellsbury now gives him 70 extra base hits this year from the leadoff spot for Boston. How about that? He's no punch and Judy hitter, I'll tell you that.
0-2. That should do it. Johnson, it won't. Ellsbury's aboard. Kelly Johnson got handcuffed at second. And Ellsbury, as he does always, busted out of the box and beat the throw to first. That keeps the inning alive.
Great speed by Ellsbury, not taking anything for granted. This ball skidding on the turf, and it comes up on Johnson. He stays in front of it, stays with it, but just cannot complete the play over at first base. Ellsbury busting it down the line, and you can tell from that replay he beats it.
It's an error on the second baseman, Kelly Johnson. Francisco right back at him. Strike 1. Ball and a strike. Well, one thing we know for certain about this Red Sox team, they never concede anything. They never give up.
They don't go quietly. They make you earn every one of those outs every single night.
Base hit to right field. Scudero just went with the pitch. And that will get the tying run to the plate.
He has been swinging that magic wand this whole series. Just stayed right with that ball, just shoots it the other way. He pulled a ball last time for a base hit, a 2-run single. That's 3 hits tonight again for Marco Scudero.
11 for 17 in the series.
Can't get him out. He and Ellsbury have set the table all series long against the Blue Jays.
Pedroia's had a rough series. He's gone 1 for 19. Two outs, 2 on. First pitch strike. Francisco continues to pound the strike zone. Very effective again tonight. He went too far. Again, the Red Sox down to their final strike.
Trying to take the aggressiveness from Pedroia and use it against him. You can tell that he went around.
David Ortiz lurking on deck. 2 on, 2 outs.
Good idea. That's your best pitch right there. The hard fastball and well placed. Get after him. That one was 95 miles an hour.
One and 2. Got it. Blue Jays win it. The Red Sox made it interesting in the 9th, but Frank Francisco strikes out Dustin Pedroia, and the Blue Jays win the series. Eric Thames with an insurance home run in the 7th. J.P. Arancibia a 3-run home run in the 2nd, and Edwin Encarnacion continues to swing a red-hot bat. 2 more hits tonight, including a home run.
You know, and any time you can get those add-on runs against the Red Sox or the Yankees because they make life miserable for you late in the game, it's important. You mentioned the home run by Thames. How about David Cooper's double to score Laurie after he doubled in the 8th inning, making things a little bit easier for the Blue Jays?
Ricky Romero is the winning pitcher. That ties his career high. Won 14 games last year. He has now won 14 games for a 2nd consecutive season. Blue Jay hitters came up big. How about David Cooper in his first start since rejoining the Blue Jays? Comes up with 3 hits, drives in 2, hit a couple of doubles and scored a run.
You know, it's always easier the second time you come to the big leagues. He was here earlier in the year, and he did a few things, the home run and the game-winning sacrifice fly, got his first hit at New York. But then he went back down to the minor leagues and did his thing, and then came back, and he looks like a different hitter.
So now let's go down to Barry Davis. He's standing by with David Cooper.
David, before the game, I talked to Chad Mottola, and he said when you were up earlier, you may have been pressing, maybe a little bit nervous. You're making your major league debut. You didn't look nervous. You didn't look out of control at all tonight. You seemed to be very comfortable at the plate.
Yeah, you know, that was something when I went down. I was a little upset with myself about how I kind of let, you know, the idea of being in the big leagues get to me a little bit. And I was like, if I get another chance, I'm not going to let that happen again.
You certainly did. 3 hits tonight, 2 doubles and a single, all off of left-handed hitters. How much does that mean to you, and is that something that you've been working on a lot in the minors, to be able to hit lefties?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're always tough matchups, and down in the minor leagues, I had some success, so hopefully I keep that going here.
How much of a statement have you made that, you know what, I may have spent a lot of time in the minors, but I deserve a shot to be with this team next year?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just, I want to be content with what my role is here, and then hopefully seize every opportunity I get.
Well, listen, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
All right, David Cooper, 2 doubles and a single here tonight. The Blue Jays taking 3 of 4 from the Boston Red Sox. Buck?
Thank you, Barry, and it is a great series as you look at Frank Francisco striking out Dustin Pedroia. The Blue Jays win the series. J.P. Arancibia, his 22nd home run. We'll be back tomorrow night. Blue Jays open up against the Orioles. Stay tuned for Connected. Brad Fay, R.J. Broadhead coming up next.